So I met Charlie when he was a teenager. He was connected to, funded by a close friend of ours called Foster Freeze, who's a wonderful man from Wilmington, Delaware, well, really from Wisconsin, but lived in Wilmington and then Jackson, Wyoming, and was an investor in a company that we had, and more important, like an actual friend, really the only investor I've ever had in anything. And a very enthusiastic Christian man, and the kind of person who was just a collector of people. You know, I met this person, he was so enthusiastic, and almost everybody around him was just wonderful. But because he was so rich and so generous, he did collect. There were phonies in the orbit, because there always are when someone's rich, right? And so he tells me at dinner about this kid he's met. He's only 18. He's not going to college. I've always been opposed to college my whole life. I tried to convince all my kids not to go. I mean, I really meant it. And so he's like, you would love this guy. He's not going to college. And I was like, man, I love that, because I really am opposed, and I mean it. And I'm like, he sounds great. And he's like, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I'm thinking, oh, man, some fast-talking kid has configured, it was like throwing back Reagan quotes or something at poor Foster, you know, who's in his 70s and like late 60s, and he doesn't know. And I really assumed that Charlie was just some predator. And I didn't like it at all. And of course, there's the bias against young people. I mean, Charlie's literally the age of one of my children. So like, and I felt he's probably just totally conventional, telling old people what they want to hear, or sucking up to the donors, whatever. So I meet him. I thought he was smart as hell, but I was very skeptical. Then I have this, he calls me, would you do an event? Sure. I was going to be in the state anyway, so I do it. And we have this kind of sort of debate, not really a debate. Well, what actually happened was I was going to give a speech, and I got there. We were backstage. He's like, well, actually, let's just do a Q&A. And I was like, I don't know, son. I don't think you want to do that with me, because I'm kind of a jerk. You know, which I am in those settings, right? So he's like, no, I want to. We can, it's okay to have a debate. I was like, I don't know, man. Like, I disagree with your views on economics and foreign policy, and I'm pretty hot on these topics. So I'm just letting you know that. Oh, no problem at all. So we end up having this kind of intense thing, and I'm like passionately opposed to marijuana and drugs. I'm just having used a lot of drugs as a child. Like, I'm very opposed to drugs. Charlie never used any drugs in his whole life, and he was, at the time, he was kind of libertarian on the subject. And I remember saying, everyone in the crowd is for weed. Like, you think you're so cool, but actually it's a control device designed to make you passive and accepting of this system that's destroying you. And people kind of booed me or whatever, but Charlie looked at me like, I think that may be right. And it was that issue. It was weed of all issues. You know, it's not my top issue, but I do feel it really strongly. I hate marijuana, okay? And I know it's really cool, but no, it's like fully corporate, actually. And it's wrecking Americans, especially boys.
It's wrecking the parking lot of the grocery store nearby.
It makes me feel like getting my gun. Like, I really feel that way about it. Sorry, I shouldn't say that, but I really am mad about it. And Charlie grooved with that. And that moment set off this like conversation. So I was in Arizona for something. He's like, let's go to lunch, let's go to dinner. And we started having all these really intense conversations, started putting him on Fox. And his views were changing. And mine were too, by the way. It's not like I converted him. It's like I had been all kinds of embarrassing things during the scope of my long life, a libertarian, a self-described neocon. Can you imagine? I mean, I'll admit it. I like got mad at Alex Jones for asking questions about 9/11. What? Like, I was like a horrible person, or a very close-minded person. I was totally wrong about everything. And so I didn't judge. Like, you should change your mind as the evidence changes. The things you thought were going to work didn't. An honest man asks himself why they didn't work and what might work. Like, that's the process of adulthood. And Charlie, young people are very inflexible about what they believe, I have found. And I have a lot of young people. I have a lot of children. He was one of the only young people I've ever met who was like, oh, yeah, I think I was wrong. And only belief in Jesus allows you to say that, because you know that you're not judged. You know that honesty is the ticket, and that if you pursue an honest path, you'll be okay. And you don't need the adulation from the crowd. You don't need the love of strangers to feel good about yourself, because you know that you are loved. It gives you true freedom. And he had that. Charlie had no problem at all getting up and being like, I was a neocon. And of course, with me, he didn't, because he knew that I was too. I'm like cheering on the Iraq War, which I did. Like, I literally did that. And I'm ashamed of it, but I'm also proud to admit it, because I think that it's important to let people know that you can admit being wrong. It's okay. It's all right. We're people. We're not gods. You can be wrong.